if you're watching on Facebook, giving the small talk to Mr. Vito Stellino, who has covered the NFL, and I hope that this is not felt to be an insult, Vito, but you've covered the NFL since before the Super Bowl. Alex Karras, Joe Schmidt with the Lions, all the way to contemporarily with Leonard Fournette, Blake Bortles, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And so that's why we love to have Vito Stellino on. He votes on the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I was referencing you in the first segment about one of my favorite football columns ever that you wrote about franchise relocation called The Stadium Game, and I loved that piece because it really did spell out why teams moved and why I thought often they should not move, as a matter of fact, back in the day. But Vito Stellino, you know your stuff, so I want to ask you right straight off. Opening day of the NFL season is today. Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl?
It's going to be an NFC team. The 3, 4, 5 NFC teams better than anybody in the AFC.
Really? Okay.
Well, it's just a question which one, when does Wentz come in? The Eagles kind of depends on how fast Wentz can come back. I don't know whether Bowles should do that for a whole season. So, it's, but, the Rams still have a shot. Green Bay has a shot. There's several good teams in the NFC.
So the Eagles, the Rams, the Packers. What about the Falcons who play today? They always seem to be the bridesmaid. That's what happens when you blow a 25-point lead in the Super Bowl, after all. But, I do hear some people talking about, well, could this be the validation for Matt Ryan, that sort of thing? Or could you even see the New York Giants just 3-13 last year, but seem to have made some decent off-season moves, certainly drafting Saquon Barkley. And some people are talking about the Giants as being a dark horse. And, what would it mean for Eli Manning to have 3 Super Bowl rings and his brother to have 2? That sort of thing. Do you see any other teams challenging the Eagles, Rams, or Packers?
I don't see the Giants doing it. It's only a radish in the mix, but Ryan, we're going to have a good playoff record.
Yeah.
He just doesn't seem to be kind of leader. I mean, in that game where they made the lead, granted, the play calling was terrible with the lead, but he also wasn't milking the clock and, those kind of things, which you should do with a lead and when your defense has been on the field too much. So, I think the Falcons just probably are a little bit lower one than those two guys.
We're talking to Vito Stellino. There's a few people that have such a great football knowledge, both historically and contemporarily, than Vito Stellino. You can read his stuff at vitostellino.com. He is retired from the Florida Times-Union, where he covered the Jacksonville Jaguars. And so let me ask you, to my thinking, the AFC South is wide open. Who could ever predict that? But it was the Jaguars who won it last year behind Leonard Fournette. And could you see them making a repeat? Could you see them even going all the way to the Super Bowl this year with Blake Bortles?
Well, again, the thing about Bortles, he has a very inconsistent record. He had 64.4 quarterback rating in his last 2 preseason games. And 2 or 3 picks. No other quarterback 2 or 3 picks in the preseason. So, if Bortles improves, they can make it, but I don't know that he can make that next step. So but a better quarterback they would have a good shot at certainly going to the Super Bowl if that way yet. But I have trouble believing that the Bortles can take them all the way.
Well, in the modern day, it's unlikely that you're going to have a 1970s type offense that, let's say, the Miami Dolphins did, or the Electric Company Bills, where they basically just ran the ball. Even Franco Harris's Steelers were kind of that way, and Earl Campbell's Oilers. But, in today's game, you're going to be putting the ball in the air 20 times or so, one way or the other. But if there's any workhorse back, I think that if there was any one player who did kind of carry an offense, it was Leonard Fournette last year. Can he continue to do that? I know it sounds odd, but with all the wear and tear that a back takes, yeah, it's only his second year, but how much longer do you think that Fournette could be that kind of workhorse back for the Jacksonville Jaguars?
Well, the problem is until Bortles gets better, he's always ready against A-back fronts. He only averaged 3.9 yards a carry, and I'm not blaming him for that. It's just what he's trying to get. And they were 3-0 in the games. He missed 3 games, they won all 3. So I don't know that you know, Bortles makes that much difference for him right now. I still think it's, I mean, not Bortles before that. I still think it's all on, Bortles. And, yeah, you're right. That was 70s football. They've changed all the rules to open up the passing game. You know, and so to try to turn back the clock is very, very difficult. And there were a lot of things fortunate last year that they only faced, they didn't face Andrew Luck at all. They only faced Watson a half. They swept those 4 games. So they lost White to Tennessee. So they kind of show me first before I jump on their bandwagon this year.
So they would not be your pick in the AFC. In the 2 minutes we have left in this segment, let me ask you, I mean, do you think it's going to be the Patriots again? That's the easy pick. Or could it be the Steelers coming through, or just somebody else that you might see? The Chiefs? Who would you see in the Super Bowl playing against the NFC favorite?
Well, if you want to do a dark horse, check out the Chargers, you know.
Okay, yeah.
They got a good defense. They got a good quarterback. The Patriots aren't going to win it. I would say that flat out.
Ooh.
Too many years of bad Belichick drafting. B, Brady's going to get old one of these years. And C, the last time the team lost the Super Bowl and won it the next year was 1972. So that's a lot of history to be going against. I don't count the Patriots as a team likely to win it all this year.
You're talking about the undefeated Miami Dolphins.
That's right.
And
they lost to Dallas the year before.
Uh-huh. And they had a soft schedule in 72, too. I mean, people have... But I think wasn't that like the softest NFL schedule or the second softest NFL schedule in history at that point or so? Of course, they proved themselves in the playoffs, but I think they only played like 2 winning teams the entire time in the undefeated Dolphins did. It's Vito Stellino.
One of the few people who realize that. I see it, the undefeated Dolphins of 72 were maybe one of those overrated teams in NFL history, you know. The Steelers would have crushed them, you know, once they had their 9 Super Bowls.
I don't want to sound like a biased Steelers fan. Give the Dolphins credit for winning the game. But, yeah, they did need the fake punt. Hey, it's in the rules. I'll also say, if you'll remember this, Bradshaw and Green had the flu.
Yeah, no question, yeah. If Bradshaw also got knocked out of the game. Yeah, and even Bradshaw was Webster and Lambert.
No, they had, Frank Lewis and all that going up with that there. Anyway, I went to break here.
Okay.
And so